always.
That's all we talk
Hence
about.
the term chronic diarrhea.
Hello.
Oh, we're on? Hey, I didn't know you'd hit it yet, everybody.
That makes it more fun.
How's it going? Welcome.
Welcome. This is On the Haunt.
I'm Amy.
I'm Whitney.
We're lively today. Look
We
at
are.
us. It's amazing when we come in at, whatever
4
time. 4
4
in the
p.m.
afternoon. Big difference between 4 p.m. and like 5 p.m. how much more rejuvenated we are.
A couple of my friends from work constantly send Marco Polos to each other. And I'll wake up in the morning to like 45 because I go to bed at like 7 and they continue to talk because they're normal people who stay awake.
You were giving me crap the other night.
I know,
but
I
that's
have
okay.
to. I have
You're
to.
like,
I'm sorry.
Amy's asleep, Chris. Sorry. We'll just have to make plans on when to record
And then
in the morning.
And then she gets us back by texting us at 5 a.m., which
Yeah.
I'm awake. I don't know if he
And
is.
I clap back, so take that.
I don't know if Chris is awake. Maybe he is. But
Who
anyhow.
knows? Well, he was that day if he had his notifications turned on. Sorry.
Sorry, Chris, we woke you up. All right, cool. You want to talk about some haunted housekeeping?
Sure. Last week, you mentioned that you said Chris and Mandy in the group chat.
Yes.
You meant Chris and Amy.
Amy.
So-
Yes, our official On the Haunt group chat is Chris and Amy, not
And
Mandy.
Whitney.
And me. Mandy, do you want to be in it?
Mandy
you can
does
if
not
you
want
want.
to be associated with this.
Mandy
at all.
wants-
Although Mandy, we're waiting on a really good picture of Chris from you.
Oh, I haven't
turn
told
it-
her yet.
Oh, well,
It's a secret.
consider this your official warning. We just need one. It doesn't need, you don't need to know why.
We just have, no, she can know, but we don't want Chris to know he's listening.
Well, yeah, I know she can know.
Oh,
You're
I'm sorry.
like, it's a secret. So I'm like, okay, I better shut it down.
We just have really funny things that we always want to do to quote unquote pay Chris
Yeah.
for this.
Chris
which
is suddenly like, you can no longer use the prayer closet.
he's
Sorry.
like, please just stop, everyone. So, anyhow.
Yeah, so that was really all the haunted housekeeping.
Yeah.
E-News Corner, I texted Whitney yesterday to get on Instagram and check out Britney Spears' video of her dancing. Like, if you follow her on Instagram, just her
Which
dancing for no reason.
If you don't, you should. It's
know,
magical.
You just get it.
She's amazing.
And she's like, this is where I broke my foot. Sorry about the pop. And when she's dancing, you hear the loudest pop that is clearly the bone in her foot snapping.
It's so gross.
If you're not squeamish, check it out.
It's really grossed me out. I can't do stuff like that.
Yeah, it was.
And she's
She
just
just,
like
like-
twirling and
Yeah, and then she just like fell so gracefully. I'm like, if I snap my foot like
sorry.
that would not be pretty.
she's like, but I don't know. How do you break your foot?
Brittany's a
falling?
goddess.
She is. God, I
She's
love
been
you,
wearing a
Brittany.
boot everywhere she goes. So
Poor Brittany.
that's a bummer.
She can't dance now.
No.
That's what she does.
Oh, she will.
She will.
She'll dance with
Oh,
a boot.
she'll
That ain't
dance.
gonna slow her down.
Oh my God, Amy.
I know.
We got reviews. What are we doing?
Last week, Whitney was telling you how she was just
Not
in
gonna
a dark
quit.
place.
I was in a
and
dark place.
So sad about our poor little podcast just coasting on fumes.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
And then we got a recommendation
Yeah, we did.
from Samantha in New Zealand. What?
I'm like texting my friends like, we've gone international.
Samantha, how in the world did you even hear about our podcast? Really?
Yeah.
Don't you want to know? I really am. It says she stumbled across it clearly.
Yes.
But like
no
how?
one finds
Where?
us on purpose.
I'm dying to know.
Yes.
I need to know all the things. So I'm going to read her review. Do you think I should? Yeah, she put it. It's public.
Sure.
Okay. I just don't want to. It's just her first name. Okay. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I'm in New Zealand and have stumbled across this podcast. I'm recovering from a brain injury and podcast is all I can really do at the moment. I'm so glad I found yours. It's so spooky and interesting and I love listening to you both. You're so entertaining. Thanks for keeping me company while I'm recovering. Samantha.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate that so much. Samantha, you were in the On the Haunt official group chat. 'Cause
You were.
We were texting back and forth like crazy. We were so excited. You made our
Life. Seriously. Yeah. I saw that and I was like, am I joking right now? Tell my husband, he's like, that's made up. She doesn't live in New Zealand. Yeah. She's someone else. You're being catfished. I was like, no, I'm not.
No,
and then
I'm not.
Then we stalked your Facebook page.
And you're amazing.
You are amazing.
Your Facebook pictures.
You're so beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, we're making it weird.
We are.
But anyways, thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. And then we have another one from Janelle. Janelle says, I hope I'm saying your name right. If I'm not, I'm really sorry. This podcast was recommended to me by my sister Jessica, who, like myself, is pretty interested in hauntings, ghosts, etc. I have to say, Amy and Whitney are absolutely hilarious. Oh, gosh.
Thank you.
Their witty humor and poop jokes keep me coming back for more. Well, that makes one of you.
Yeah.
And not to mention the really interesting stories they discuss. They definitely have a fan in me. Hashtag Bathsheba's rat face is my favorite so far.
Thank you. We love
Looking
that
forward
one
to
too.
more. Oh, thank you,
Yeah,
Janelle.
thanks, guys. You have no idea. I know we say this all the time, but it means so much to us when you guys
For real.
write reviews. We get so excited. We just practically lose our minds.
I almost cried when I read those.
Yeah.
Like,
And there was a time when we believed that they were made up. Just people like
yeah, Drew.
punking us. But now we know that
Drew's
it's
a real person.
Drew like changed our perception on
Drew, you changed our life.
Okay.
God,
now we're gonna make it weird for Drew. Sorry, everybody.
Sorry, Drew.
No, why would anyone write a review? Look at us. God.
If you don't want us to read your review, you
We
can
were
just
just
say
about
that.
to give Drew a shout out too for buying a shirt, but now
Thank
it's
you,
like,
Drew. You brought a
yeah.
shirt. You're
And
so nice.
Tanya, who already
Thank you,
had some
Tanya.
shirts, about a couple hoodies.
Man.
How sad is our merch department? We could thank customers individually on air.
If you
that wraps that up.
If you are interested in our merch, though, it's on Bonfire. You can go on that website and just search On the Haunt. We have an official page, merch page on there.
Yes, very high quality. Cool
Super
stuff.
high quality.
Love it.
Awesome. Who goes first?
Me.
Yes.
Yes, because we.
Yep.
If you didn't like our reenactment last week, sorry.
Suck it.
We thought it was great. Don't blame us. Blame the people of Reddit. Those weren't our words.
No, they weren't. Those were our accents.
Well, yeah. Well, they were the words coming out of our mouths, but
my
none of these words are our words. If you haven't figured that out yet,
We don't have words. Oh my
All
God,
right.
what are you doing?
I am doing nothing that anyone's recommended to us. I just one day Google searched paranormal topics. This popped up and I started looking into it. I'm like, oh, this looks really good. So I am doing, and I'm sure I'm saying this wrong, Poveglia Island in Italy.
Okay.
And there's an episode of Ghost Adventures with our
Zach.
wonderful friend,
Zach Bagans.
And-
Friend of the podcast. Not
Yeah,
really.
Probably going to sue us someday. You can't. We're critiquing your work.
Yeah,
Zach,
sue us
so-
for nothing. We have
Yeah.
nothing.
We got 1 star one time. We took it like women. You can take it like a woman.
Yeah.
And I'm going hard for
Yeah,
you
we
tonight because it was a really ridiculous episode.
We got 1 star one time.
One time. It happened. But look at us. We put on our big girl pants and came back. So
Yeah.
put on your
Yeah, we
big girl
did.
pants. Zach.
Suck it, Zach. Bagel bites.
Preferably ones that aren't bedazzled.
Or have so much
Zach Bigger just wears
white.
Miss Me jeans.
Ew, with white stitching. Ugh.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
Anywho.
It's been a while.
Sorry if
since
you
I
like
made
Zach
fun of him.
Bagans.
No, they don't.
Um,
Okay, so
Okay.
here we go.
Poveglia.
My sources are Wikipedia, Mysterious Universe, Ghost Story. I'm pretty sure I did some Atlas Obscura too.
Oh, that's a great website.
If not, whatever.
And Mysterious
I'm pretty sure I
Universe.
did.
Great website.
Yes. So, like I usually do, I give a whole lot of history, which is fine. Not a lot of haunting. Glad it's a paranormal podcast. But I did include a ton of the haunting because I knew I wanted to cover ghost adventures too.
Is that what
so-
this is that you're
yeah,
hiding?
so I have to flip back and forth
She's
because I
hiding
like,
things. God,
like
you lucky
some
duck.
stuff I was doing while watching, some I was doing while reading.
You're so lucky you got to watch some Ghost Adventures.
I am so fortunate.
Was he possessed? I'm possessed.
I mean, is he? Does an episode ever go by that he's not possessed?
I know that's accurate.
So yeah, spoiler alert. Yes, he was.
He's
possessed.
always possessed.
He's quite a conduit, man. Like, can you imagine?
That's what
being
she
able
said.
to-
I don't know.
Can you imagine being able in real life, though? I know he's putting on, but being able to be
Is he?
possessed that easily.
You're like, again? I'm just trying to do my taxes. Jeez.
Oh, don't even get me
tax
started
season.
on my taxes.
Let's not talk
It's
about
been a
it.
train wreck. They're still not done.
Adult?
And I'm paying someone to do them.
Hashtag
and it's been a week
adulting,
and
or
they're
am
not
I
done.
right?
Yeah,
Are my
you're
jokes
right.
funny? Yeah.
No, there's nothing funny about taxes. I refuse to laugh at that.
Okay, go on.
Okay, this
Go
is
on.
not
I'm so
what
sorry.
the people are here for.
No, the people don't even want that.
Poveglia Island. It's a small island in the Venetian Lagoon in northern Italy,
Ooh.
which is so beautiful. If
didn't
you think
know.
of Venice, like just
Venetian
so pretty.
Lagoon.
It first appears in historical records in 421 AD. So we're going back in time.
That's like a date I can't compute.
No, it was a long time ago. That was like when Chris tried to explain to us what $1 billion was.
And we're like, huh?
Chris, we don't understand anything. We're
Math?
paying you in stickers. You think we understand
Math?
$1 billion?
Right, no.
Anything.
But we were both like, yeah, we understand.
Yeah.
We're great actresses.
Chris, if we weren't idiots, you probably did a really good job of explaining it. We're just morons.
but we're just idiots.
We are. We can't help it.
No,
we're not going to apologize for it.
No, we're
It's
not.
who we are. It's our spiel.
We're
going with it.
It's our shtick.
I've been reading a new book too. I'll talk about that in a little bit, where she talks about you just be you and you don't.
Brene
apologize.
Brown?
No,
Okay.
Kristen
Oh,
Kumez.
I like her.
I think she's coming to St. Louis.
Is
in
she?
May. Uh-huh.
I'm all about her Facebook
People
page.
were like, "Would you shut up and get back to Poveglia Island?"
Sorry.
Okay, so it was home to a small community until 1379, when its residents fled because of war and because the government wanted use of the island so they could fight against attacking fleets. That's what that word is.
What?
Like,
Ships?
Once again, yeah, ships. Just like people were attacking.
Yikes.
There was a war. I don't know whatever war was happening
World
in Italy.
War I.
Not in 1379. No. They only had fleets. There was nothing else. I'm surprised they had boats. Yeah, they
probably
had
have
boats then.
fleets
dumb.
of boats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else would they have?
I
Fleets
don't
of
know.
in the 1300s, geese.
I mean, flocks.
Oh yeah, or a gaggle.
Oh, gaggle of geese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're super smart.
We know nothing about history. You don't know. They may have trained geese to attack people.
Absolutely.
I've seen geese that are super mean.
Absolutely. They were on
You go to
Umsel's
the duck
campus.
pond up here.
I've been attacked.
Yeah, they ain't playing.
Territorial.
And they poop everywhere.
That's what
I
they're
mean, that's their warfare. Poop all over you. I don't know. That wasn't even a joke. So anyways, during this, they built an octagonal battlement that still exists today. So it's really cool. I actually have some pictures. There's like this octagon-shaped battlement. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming like something they
fort?
like fought off of.
Or they hid in.
Yeah,
Fought
sure.
off of. Hiya! They're
Yes.
like jumping off of it like Power Rangers.
They were.
God, I
It was
loved the
great.
Power Rangers. You?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I was more of a Teenage Mutant Ninja
I know. I was trying to
Turtle.
get a thing that like I was into, but you weren't. But it didn't work. Okay.
sorry.
It's fine. Yeah, no. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were great too.
So it was rumored that they captured their enemies, and when they captured them, they burned them alive on the island.
Yikes.
And after the war ended, the island stayed uninhabited for quite a long time.
Okay.
And then the bubonic plague hit Italy and hit it like
AKA the
make you wanna
coronavirus.
Smack your mama. Every article I read gave different years for when
The
the
bubonic.
bubonic plague like came and they started using this island because
Okay.
of it. So somewhere between 1403 and 1776, which is like
Short
a really
time
huge spread of time.
Oh my god. Is that how long I want to say bubonic too, which is not
No,
right.
it didn't last that long. I literally, like, every article
yeah.
I read
It's all
had
jacked up.
different,
Yeah.
totally different
Is the
dates.
bubonic plague the one where like pops up on your face like boils?
Or was that? No, that was something else. That was like syphilis, right?
Bubonic plague.
I know. God help us if the coronavirus does hit us, because we're idiots.
Oh no, it does nasty things to you.
Oh, yeah.
That's gross. Man.
Lovely.
Okay.
So anyways, at some point during this time, thousands of bodies were piling up in Venice, like dead
Oh,
bodies
nice.
just piling up. So it was creating quite a smell, as
Yeah.
one can imagine.
And
so they're
messing
like,
up
we
the
got to do
water."
something with these bodies. This is not okay. And if you
Not
have
cool.
ever done any kind of research when there's any kind of pandemic going on, especially back in days of old, they had no way of disposing of the bodies
No.
in a timely manner, and it was not uncommon to just see
why wouldn't they just
bodies
like
laying in the
light them
streets.
up?
I don't know if
Is it
maybe
just too hard to burn people?
Well, no, because that's what they did when they got them to the island. I don't know. Maybe they thought that would contaminate the air and
maybe.
spread that because they were very.
They just don't know
They
what's
didn't
causing
know
that.
what
Yeah.
was causing it.
I wouldn't want to be transporting all those dead bodies, though.
Well, no one would. So they started putting them on ships and sending them to the island. And they would either just throw them in these massive pits or burn them. But a lot of times what they did was throw them in the pits and then kind of like incinerate the pits once
which
it
makes
was
sense.
done. But it's rumored that even if you were suspected of having the plague,
Oh, God.
like it got to the point they weren't just taking bodies in, they made it like a quarantine island. And it was just, you didn't even necessarily have to have the symptoms or like,
you don't look right.
You're sweating today, Connie. We're gonna, because I'm
Throw
sure
you in a pit?
Yeah, they would ship them over to the island, and sometimes they were thrown in the pit and left to die, just thrown on all these corpses.
Oh, God.
Because they were like, they had no actual facilities or anything at that, like at the beginning of all of this. For them, like no hospital or anything. They eventually did build facilities, but when they first started doing this, they had nothing, and they would just throw people.
That's terrible.
And they even said sometimes they threw live people in there and would still light everything on fire.
Great.
So it stands to reason this island, if anything was going to be haunted,
It's this place.
island would have reason.
Yikes.
It was for sure. I know I wrote that. Turned into a quarantine station. And it was used to hold people who had symptoms or even suspected of having the plague. And it was like a 40-day window. So they said, but most people, if they went over there after the 40 days, no one came back and got them. So there were very healthy people sent over there and left to die. And
That's
obviously,
great.
even if you went over there healthy and then there are all these other people with the plague,
That's so sad.
yeah, you're going to get the plague. And so as the plague continued to get worse and worse, more and more people were sent to the island, many who weren't even affected, and hundreds of thousands of people were either dumped or just left there to die. So they sent like no provisions, no nothing.
Food,
yeah, they just assumed they were already dying, so they don't need anything to sustain life. Was kind of the attitude that
my God.
they had. So horrible.
I'm so glad I was not born in the 1400s.
Yeah. A lot of people were drugged from their homes against their will. They lived on the island in squalor and in unrelenting pain. And they were always terrified, even if they were just dropped off the island, that someone was going to throw them in those pits.
I bet.
And either leave them in there or burn them up alive. Occasionally doctors would show up in those like weird masks.
Oh, yeah.
You know, with like the bird looking thing. And the reason they were shaped the way they do is because they would pack herbs in that they thought would prevent them from being able to get the plague.
Was it passed in the air?
I
don't.
I know nothing.
Okay. Surely not.
I don't know.
Or
either.
everyone would have got it.
Well, like it eradicated a huge
It's a
portion
bacteria
of Italy's. Well, lots of other places too, but a huge.
Is this are
portion
these
of their
years
population.
considered medieval?
I don't know. I
don't either.
I don't know when the Renaissance period was. I don't know.
Well, there's been
anything.
so many types of plagues, so.
But the medieval is when I was referring to a minstrel. So.
Okay, I don't know. Anyhow.
So anyways, doctors would show up. Nearly 1/3 of Italy's population was wiped out.
That's nice.
So
wow.
that's big numbers. That's when I will panic if we ever.
It'll be too late.
Well, I can still panic. I'm always panicked, so it would just be a Tuesday.
Kyle and I are buying emergency rations.
Jeez.
Kyle might have undiagnosed OCD.
You think?
I just go with it. God bless him.
Well, it's now diagnosed because you said it out loud on
yeah,
here.
yeah, and I'm a doctor.
Oh, so this is fun. So many bodies were burned on Poveglia Island that a substantial portion of the soil is now human remains.
That's great.
They say when you go there, you are just...
Ew.
It's clearly not normal soil. There's so much ash
you can tell.
in it that you can tell.
That's sick.
Yeah, that just the whole island. That's what it's
I wonder
covered
if
in.
any vegetation can grow.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
For what they use it for now. It's only used for agricultural purposes
Okay.
now.
Ew,
Which
but
I don't know,
wanna
like,
eat-
what? Yeah. Well, no, it's vineyards.
Oh.
So you're drinking it.
Well,
So let's fast forward to 1922.
okay.
And at that point, they had built some existing buildings to treat people with the plague. So they turned the existing buildings into, dun dun dun, an insane asylum. That's what they always did in the early 1900s. Stop it. But the second they turned it in to that hospital, patients would immediately complain about seeing ghosts and hearing disembodied voices, but no one paid attention to them because they were, air quotes, crazy.
Right.
And so it's believed that at that point, after all of those, probably hundreds of thousands of people died horrific deaths on the island.
Burned
it was
alive.
very haunted.
Yes.
And these patients were like, no, for real. I'm seeing this and hearing this. Even if I am here because I'm a little unstable, this is making me more unstable because it's happening.
I can't sleep.
There was allegedly a doctor who enjoyed experimenting on the patients in this hospital.
Why is there always one of them?
Always. There's one in every group.
Freaking
He was a huge fan of lobotomies.
nice. Very nice.
And would often perform them on his patients with nails, chisels, and hammers.
No.
I don't know much about surgery, but I don't think that those tools were ever intended to be performing brain surgeries.
That's horrible.
And it said he couldn't care less about the sanitation.
Oh, nice.
So that's like,
Dirty
he
old
wasn't
nail.
like Purell and any of that stuff.
No.
He's like, I'm going to stick this in your head and then bring
Stick it in
Arthur in
her.
here. I'm going to stick it in his head.
Oh, my God.
He also performed a lot of mysterious experiments on patients in the bell tower. No one knows for
What?
sure what he was doing to patients in there. They just know that all night long, the other patients were kept awake by the screams coming from the bell tower. So no one knows for sure what was going on in there, but it was clearly, the lobotomies is bad enough,
Something worse.
but something worse was happening
Probably
there.
weird sex stuff.
So fortunately for the patients, though, the doctor started seeing ghosts of the plague victims.
Okay, good.
And the spirits relentlessly harassed him.
Nice.
Finally, somebody is getting their comeuppance in one of
Yes.
these stories.
Yes.
The evil doctor. The constant barrage of voices and physical assaults from spirits were said to have eventually driven him mad.
Finally.
He either threw himself or was thrown by a spirit from the bell tower.
Good.
Where he performed all of those horrific experiments on patients. But a nurse that was on duty the night that he fell,
That
thrashed,
happened.
/ thrown, said that he did not die on impact. He laid there all like broken and
Yeah.
crumpled and stuff as one would, having sustained a fall like that, and said like this mysterious mist appeared around him, and it was very apparent to her that he was being choked by something. And he lay there and couldn't like get up and run away because all of his
limbs are all
bones and stuff
broken.
are broken.
Oh
and
my
he was laying there and was violently choked to death.
Okay.
Then there are rumors that say, but I don't know if this is true or not, that his body was bricked up in the walls of the hospital. So, whatever, kind of serve him right.
But do you
don't be
want him
cruel.
to stay there with you?
Well, no,
You know?
probably not. But if he died there,
Yeah.
there's
true.
still that chance.
He's there anyway. Sorry, I'm getting
So,
some chapstick.
the hospital was officially closed in 1968, but the building still stands on the island today. Since then, the island has mainly been used for agriculture,
Okay.
not all, particularly vineyards. It's not open to the general public, but that's fine because who wants to go there?
No, right.
There has been some interest in purchasing the island over the years. And there was an owner, I don't know a name, in the 60s who had bought the island but abandoned it. Just like, was like, nope, done. So no one really knows why.
Freaked out.
So another family was in the process of purchasing the island. And they had the plans drawn up. They were going to build their dream vacation home on it. But they abruptly abandoned those plans. And it's rumored that the daughter of that family had her face mysteriously ripped open.
Oh,
and
God.
then needed like a whole bunch of stitches afterwards.
Oh,
I'm like,
God.
I'd probably vacate
Rip.
the island as well after that.
Ripped open? Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what that
alarming.
means, but can you just imagine like sitting here talking to me and all of a sudden my face is ripped open?
I would just die.
That scene.
I'd jump out a window.
Oh my God,
too.
I've been watching Dracula on Netflix. But anyways, he's able to like get inside other people's bodies.
Oh.
Kind of like a skinwalker, except he's like when he is ready to reveal himself, he literally peels
back
the skin and rips his face and stuff.
Creepy.
It's pretty good, actually. It goes along really well with the actual Bram Stoker's Dracula, if you've ever read that. So
cool.
Fun fact.
Many
have reported, now I'm to the hauntings.
The haunts.
So people who go here, even though it's not open to the public, I think a lot of people illegally
I'm sure
go. Because it says like most like
Zach
boat
Baggins.
ferries and boat ferries? No, boat.
Just ferry.
Just ferries or boat taxis refuse to take people to the island.
They're like,
no one
nope.
wants to go near it. They're like, so many have reported an immediate feeling of dread and an uncontrollable urge to leave right when they arrive.
I could imagine.
Yes, kind of like me. Anytime I
Leave
enter
your
Walmart.
home.
Many report hearing screams and moans, as well as the bell ringing in the bell tower.
Oh my God.
Even though there's no one there.
Or is there a bell tower anymore?
Yes,
Are there still
that
buildings?
stands, yes.
Oh, okay.
Lots of psychics have visited the building or the island, and they report malicious, angry spirits are still there. Spirits have been known to shove and brutally attack people.
Nice.
A lot of times people are just walking on the island and like skulls and skeletons just like
Wait,
pop
what?
up, or like right under their feet because there are so many. But if you think about, they're on an island,
There's
and the
not
bodies
that
were
much
just
room.
burned like right there where they are. And a lot of times they'll wash up on the shore too. So like they've kind of gotten out into the water at some point, but then they just wash right back up, which is not uncommon when you think of all the bodies that are there.
Right.
Which I'll get to it. Zach thinks he dug up a piece of skull, but I'm like,
Of course he did.
That's a rock.
Zach.
In 2016, 5 people from Colorado took a water taxi to the island to spend a night.
What?
I don't know why. I don't know. They were probably like YouTubers, let's be honest. Once darkness fell, their screams were heard by someone on a sailboat. That sailboat's like, I ain't do anything. So they like notified the authorities. And so like the Italian version of the Coast Guard, whatever that would be, I guess, maybe, had to come get them.
Oh my God.
At some point.
Were they American? Oh yeah, they were from Colorado. That's
yes.
embarrassing.
Of
course.
Like, and to travel all the way
super high,
like Venice, in the area of Venice, and then like.
But that would be us probably.
Yeah,
like,
I'd
we
be like, I just want to go
like
there and ride in the gondola, please.
Can I go back?
Yeah.
They're like, no, you're completely leaving Italy now.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
You're out, you wussies.
You're embarrassing.
At some point, a construction crew was restoring the old building, but they were just like, and left.
Nice.
Just like bolted. And construction people, I imagine like Italian construction
Really
men
tough.
are like eating meatballs and have hairy chests and I don't know.
They can't even do
Clearly,
their work.
I'm basing all of my knowledge on like freaking
New York
Judice from the Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Oh my God, American Italians.
Yes. Oh, well, he's just Italian now. He got deported.
Oh,
Yo.
shoot. Did he? Mm-hmm. And Teresa's still here? She's in prison?
No, she's out of prison. She got out of prison, so then he went to prison.
Oh.
But then when he got out of prison, he went into ICE custody. He was in like an ICE detainment center.
So is she going to leave?
No, she left him.
Oh.
It's
What
his
a
fault.
life.
He got him in trouble.
I mean,
she
yeah.
honestly, not to defend her, but she really didn't do anything wrong. She was just
Stuck in the middle of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it's been decades since the last death, many report the island still smells of human decay.
Oh, gross.
So that's fun. Now I'm going to jump to me, the things I do for this podcast, sitting through
It's for the people.
an entire episode. I guess it was an entire episode. It was on YouTube of Ghost Adventures.
Oh my God.
So we open with Zach Bagans
Oh God.
in a gondola. I'm not kidding.
I feel like he's as big as a gondola.
so he's just like in Venice, riding around in a
talking
gondola.
like this.
Well, but he kept saying Poveglia in an Italian accent.
Shut up,
But
really?
He was like, Poveglia. And I'm like,
Where is he
this
from?
is freaking Chef Boyardee.
Is he Canadian?
Yes, I think. Please tell me he is. Please tell me the United
No,
States
he's
does have to
American.
claim. Oh, poop.
He was born in Washington, D.C.
Oh, well,
He's 42.
great.
Freaking A.
Yeah.
I thought he was Canadian for some reason.
Well,
Anywho.
we can keep telling people.
Dang it!
We don't take credit.
He's ours!
But he's
Poveglia.
like, Poveglia!
So,
Spaghettios! Like, no.
I need to watch this just to see that.
Oh, he kept speaking in Italian. I would love someone who actually knows Italian.
Because he
to
did
tell
that
me
in
that's-
French. He spoke in French.
He's
on
so
the,
multilingual.
on
that
the
Zach Bagans.
Catacombs episode. He cannot speak
No.
Italian and French. Give me a break.
And also, he was wearing the world's largest belt buckle.
Of
this
course.
entire episode.
Wonder what it was on.
And then
Looks like. Oh, I
he's
thought that.
in the gondola with, you know how the doctors went to the island with the death masks on? This mask, but I swear to God, it looks like if it's October 31st and your kids decide last minute they want to trick or treat and you go to the dollar store, like as in the Dollar Tree, and just grab the last janky plastic. It was plastic and white.
And he's wearing
And it tied with a ribbon.
Oh, God.
And he's wearing it all the freaking time in this episode.
To
And
try-
he looks so ridiculous.
To try to, like, make the spirits think it's that time again or something.
Yeah, he was getting him riled up because they
God.
think it's the plague.
They're like,
no,
no.
they don't. They think you're freaking Woody Woodpecker, you idiot.
They think they're dead.
And you're giving them...
They're like, dude, someone lit me on fire. It's over.
Yeah. Or if it's not ever, light me on fire again because this
Your
is
face,
ridiculous. Your
your
belt buckle
and your jeans
and your pretend Italian and your plastic mask are all I can take.
Oh my God.
And then they get to the island. So they have this Italian tour guide named Manuel.
Manuel.
And I kind of feel like he was rooting for them to die in this. I don't know.
Who did I? Himself and
No,
Zach?
Zach and the crew. No, Manuel's like, I'm not going in there. And then I could tell he was just like, "Ugh, you're annoying." He felt what
He's not
America
into it.
feels.
Yes.
Um,
Shame.
So then Zach points out there's a giant X in the sky, so something signaled we were coming. I'm like, that's it from an airplane.
What?
That's like, you know when a plane flies
Yes.
by and leaves?
Yes.
No, Zach swears it was an X because you know how they leave X's on their little locations to know where to go back and check their crap.
Who does?
Zach and his crew.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, Zach, X's are, that's not a sign. That's just a letter.
Yes. So then the boat motor dies.
Oh, it's
because
another
they start
sign.
like rolling around in the island in the boat. So that was a curse
Oh.
per Zach. And I'm like, no, you're some moron who doesn't know how to start a boat motor.
Forgot to put gas in it, Zach.
It's like, well, you can't just pull it. We got to keep pulling it. You got to push the choke. Even I know that, and I'm an idiot.
And you have to pull it hard.
Yeah. God.
God, Zach. what
Roid rage. So then he starts speaking Italian. I'm
Oh.
sorry, please don't sue me. I'm just like, allegedly. I feel like if we say allegedly, we're covering our legal bases every time.
You're defamating.
So allegedly, he was saying in Italian, "Are you coming at me?" And then he got real sick.
Oh.
Oh, it's killing me. It's coming at me. It's making me so sick.
What?
It's probably your belt buckle, dude.
Oh,
Pressing into your intestines. Then there was like some more alleged Italian. But I think I even wrote on here, he's not even speaking Italian, he's just adding A's to the end of everything.
What?
Like, instead of energy, he's like, energia. Like, that's not Italian. That's like, mamma mia, papa mia. Like, no, just because you put an A.
Pizzeria.
Yes, just because you put an A on the end of it doesn't make it Italian.
Zach Bagans.
Strips.
Oh, God.
So then Aaron, that's like a guy on
Zack
their
attack.
show. He got sick after an orb shot through him.
You haven't been, Aaron, you haven't been literally shot. If someone shot you, then you can be sick.
Yes.
A pretend orb.
That doesn't count. Your street creds just went down the drain, Aaron.
What?
And then Zach became possessed.
Shut up. Really?
And he was like screaming at everybody. And he kept like flexing his muscles and trying to fight with everybody.
Amy has her two tiny
It was
fists up.
just
Oh my God.
And then, of course,
he's just drunk.
He's like bent over and like, ah, ah, I hate it. Like he's just like,
and Aaron's like, I just got shot. Ow.
Aaron's like, I need a cotton salve. This orb shot through me.
Cotton salve?
I don't know. Cotton with some salve.
Cotton gauze?
I meant with like a
I
salve.
know, but you just said cotton salve.
I imagine Aaron would ask for a cotton salve. Okay.
Aaron is oh boy.
So then, obviously, he lost all memory of it immediately.
I've come to, and then I
concluded
came
it was
to
a demon possession. What the? No,
There's no demons.
There's
on
no
the-
demons on this island, Zach.
I mean, says who, Amy?
Me.
Zach knows. Okay.
Okay, but you can't just keep getting possessed every episode.
It's got to be tiring. I wonder what
Yeah.
kind of insurance he has. Workers' comp. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I would insure.
Aaron's like, I need to go to the doctor.
Yeah. I got shot by an
I now have
orb.
incontinence. Does that mean you can't pee or you pee?
No,
all-
you do pee all the time.
Okay.
Remember when Lisa Rinna did the thing for adult diapers? It really hurt her career.
Wow, you really know a lot about
I love the Real Housewives.
we know a lot about
I love
celebrities
franchises.
and their endorsements of
I do.
pharmaceuticals.
I'm a wealth of useless knowledge.
Which Cindy Lauper?
Yes, her psoriatic arthritis.
Her psoriasis.
Actually, I didn't think it was psoriatic arthritis, just psoriasis.
She has cirrhosis of the liver.
and
We already
that.
talked about that.
And then he just went on some tangent about
Well, yeah, that's what he does.
since it was so dangerous. He's like, "Do you think it's a coincidence they brought people here with the plague? Do you think it's a coincidence people come here to die?" No, it's not a coincidence, you dumbass. There was a bubonic plague that wiped out 1/3 of the country's population.
Aaron's like, I don't understand your question.
Yeah, like, Zach, you know.
It's not rhetorical.
Aaron's like, I don't think coincidence means what you think coincidence means.
Here's
And
a
then he throws an
thesaurus.
A on the end. Coincidenza? That's Italiano.
Zach Big. Oh,
Then they whipped out their, I'm not
Oh,
kidding,
God.
emergency bottle of anointed holy water. That they
What?
only get out for emergencies.
We need that here in the prayer closet.
And so since they had that, they soldiered on with the job, even though it was so dangerous because Zach had just been possessed by a demon.
How long was that alleged possession? Like a minute?
Yeah, I mean, they only
Very
showed
quick?
like probably less than a minute.
Wow, it's just like a rapid fire possessions.
Yeah.
It's like a speed dating, but with
It is.
possession.
Possessions.
Wow.
It's like, it's almost like a game show, yeah.
It seems like that usually, lasts longer and takes
would-
effort to get the
yes,
demon
and
out.
like a
They don't just
priest.
leave.
No.
We're done here. Bye.
They're like his belt buckle.
And then Aaron
It's
gets
anointed with his holy water.
poor Aaron gets shot again because the orb leaves.
The orbs are just
Zach.
like, ping, ping, ping,
Ow! 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 It hurts. Why is he such a baby in my
I
mind?
don't know. Like,
Is he kind
how
of
do
a
they have
baby?
a career? I don't
I mean, he is a
understand.
multi-millionaire.
I know, but I don't get it. Like, does he
Because
get paid for all the
There are
memes?
some people though, because remember when I posted, I posted on our on the Haunt Facebook page. I posted that Zach Bagans book that I got at
Yes.
the library, and someone was like, "Oh, that's a great book," and I was like, I was joking, but okay. Some people love his shtick.
I guess. We do too.
I mean, I
Clearly.
find
find
it
very
I
entertaining.
find it highly entertaining to make
they're not-
fun of.
But as a spectator, I feel like he's kidding, right? Like he's exaggerating the ridiculousness of this,
mean-
but I don't think he is.
Absolutely right.
He thinks that I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God, he's possessed."
Yeah, he thinks he's pulling one over us.
Well,
Not on us.
Not on us. We are
Savvy.
too educated on the topic.
Super.
We've read all the Wikipedia.
I think we're just educated on like normal human behavior and that
that's
happened.
questionable.
Well, that's true. Of others.
Yeah. If
we can
if
observe
we're
it.
calling you out on being weird, you're weird. Let's
Super
just-
weird. Yeah. It's just,
Okay.
it's not good acting.
No.
You know, like if it was really good acting,
Yeah.
like did Sorry, I feel like a sneeze is coming. Grant and Jason, they never got possessed. Like, not even once.
No.
Because they approached it as a skeptic.
Yes.
Which lended more credibility.
It'd be one thing if, like, if he said he's a psychic medium. And it's like channeling stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Chip.
Because Chip Coffee does that.
Right.
And I believe Chip Coffee.
Yeah. But he's just a
Zach's
Joe Schmo.
And why is it always him?
Right.
It's always him getting possessed.
Maybe his belt buckle's like a conduit.
Maybe.
It's like a portal.
He's just walking around. Yeah. Just
Portal on his
letting him
crotch. Crotch portal.
in. That's what it is.
Oh, we can't have another episode title with crotch in it. Crotch circles, now crotch portal.
Well, it's what he's got, so.
That's what Zach's
Hey,
got.
Zach, they make an ointment for that.
Yeah, it's called
That's
cotton
where the
salve.
orbs are shooting from. Pew, 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 pew.
God. Ew.
Shooting
Is that a
orbs.
weird sexual innuendo?
I mean, why not? It's what we do.
It is.
So anyways, they went on with their emergency holy water.
It's needed.
And so then they're outside and they hear screams
Oh.
that I could not hear. And I turned the volume
and they're
way
alone
up.
on the island?
Yes.
Allegedly.
Yes. So then they're digging around in the dirt with a knife.
Hold on. Is
like,
it just
no,
Aaron
this-
and Zach?
They were the only ones on camera.
Okay, but then cameraman. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So
Digging around with a knife
Yeah, in the dark. In the dirt.
to try to find
To
what?
show how ashy it is.
Oh.
And then Zach just all of a
You're like,
sudden
"It's
finds
dark."
it's a piece of a skull. Like,
Are
it
you-
is pitch black outside.
And you're not an-
And you're showing this through an infrared camera. You have no idea what that is.
And you're not an anatomist.
No. We're an anthropologist. No.
Yes.
Yes. Archaeologist. Too. Well, archaeologists dig bones.
An anthropologist.
What's an anthropologist?
Study of human life.
Anthropology. That's a place with the like real expensive stuff, right?
It's anthropology.
But that's spelled IE.
Anthropology is the study of human life. No, that's sociology. Oh, God. All right, Google.
What is anthropology? Something. I mean, we know stuff. We just don't know how to apply the stuff we know.
The study of human societies and cultures and their development. I knew it was something like that.
So anyway, since he found that skull, he said he was basically breaking the seal to all death. He's so,
That's so
dramatic.
big. He just goes so big.
He does.
The seal?
Yeah, he's broke the seal to all death. So then
What does that mean? He has conquered. He is Jesus
I don't know.
Christ. He
It's
has
not
conquered
like
death.
when you pee for the first time when you've been drinking a lot. That's breaking the seal.
That's
Like,
breaking the seal.
You found something in the. I could pick something up in the dark right now and say, "Oh, this
Right.
is a fragment of a human skull." No, pick up an actual human skull. That's going to impress me. Not a freaking rock.
I know. I'm like, why wouldn't he just plant one?
Yeah,
It's like a TV show. You know what I
He
mean?
probably bought it at, like the science center. You know, you can get those little like archaeology kits for children.
God.
That's
He's
what
a
he had.
tiny little paintbrush.
He does. So he broke the seal. Whatever. And so then comes back the stupid mask.
Oh, nice.
He puts that back on to use it as bait.
Oh, God. Like, let's re-traumatize people.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And then he starts pointing to his face and speaking in his Italian. He's just
Why is he
pointing 'cause
pointing?
He's got the mask
We're like,
on.
we see it. It's
And he's
right
just
there.
Come on, look. Does this remind you of the plague? Blah, blah, blah. No, because they didn't wear plastic Dollar Tree masks. Shut your face.
Oh, God.
So then a camera falls over on a wobbly bridge. Like this
What?
janky old bridge. It's been there for literally hundreds of years. But since a camera fell over, obviously
it's a
it was a
ghost.
spirit.
Yeah.
Of a plague victim who was afraid of his mask.
No.
No, you can't. You're just writing the narrative however you want.
Yes. He's so dumb.
So then they have a spirit box.
Oh, okay.
And it starts speaking in Italian.
Oh. But
Which
they
is
don't
interesting.
speak in Italian, so how can they?
Well, wait, but here we go. They were asking questions, but they were in Italian, but they weren't asking the questions. It was on like a tape player that they referred to as a boombox.
What year was this?
And then they got out a piece of cardboard and started
Was this in
breakdancing on it.
1995? What
They were
year?
carrying it on their shoulder.
Freaking year
I'm like,
was
this
this?
was just such a ridiculous. I had to watch this in 2 parts because I could. You could see I wrote the time down of where I
You're
saw.
like,
it. I'm
I
like, I gotta
stopped.
take a break. I can't handle
mean-
this.
What? What?
And so then they like spread out on different parts of the island. And they were like disembodied moans. And then Zach kept yelling in Italian, "You're a bastard."
What?
Why are you doing this?
That's so rude, first of all. Because
They died of the plague. So you're the bastard. The only bastard in this scenario is you, Zach Bagans. Your belt buckle and your Woody Woodpecker
I mean,
mask.
unless he's yelling at the people who put them in the pits, but they're not there.
No.
They're not on the
He's
island.
just yelling because he's like, I could say this in Italian, which you're not. You're probably saying, like, in this pasta and breadsticks. Like, you're not even saying you are a bastard.
Oh, my God.
So then there was, like, white mist and black mist and moans that sound nothing like
It's like
moans.
orgies.
And then more orbs. So basically at this point, Aaron's
just-
on life support.
Just shaking. He's moaning because he's dying. He's been shot 15 times. Who is moaning?
That's Aaron.
Oh. God. Arm shoot through. Like, did he see it go in his body?
I don't think so. I didn't even see it. And I saw the actual video footage.
He's like having a heart attack, probably. And everyone's like, it was just an orb. It's cool. God.
He's like, I need an EpiPen. God.
Did that have peanut butter in it? I don't know what they're eating. But...
The orbs are shooting peanut butter now.
Oh, shit.
And so then apparently some disembodied voice said, let's fight. I didn't hear that. But then I even wrote, even the spirits want to beat him up. Like, even they want to kick his ass.
They're
He's
like,
that
bitch, quit
annoying.
shouting at us.
And then a spirit passed through Zach. Like, he was getting all kinds of action this night. But, and then
Past gas.
something fell down. So then I'm pretty sure it was Aaron.
Oh,
He just
God.
whipped out a machete.
What?
Because something fell over.
I like how he just has a
What are
machete
you
at
gonna do
the
to
red.
ghosts with a machete.
And where was he storing that
I
on his
don't know.
person, you know?
In Zach's belt buckle.
Oh, God.
It's got all this stuff. And then Zach kept cussing out the spirits, and I'd had enough. So I don't know what else. I'm just like, I'm done. This
That
is
is all.
ridiculous. So
Oh, that was good, Amy.
Poveglia Island.
I love that.
/ Ghost Adventures field trip.
Good job.
It was thank you. It was just an excuse for them to go to Venice. You know it as well as I do.
I mean, let's do that for us, you know? Okay, you all. So it's my first time trying to read off of my Google Drive on my phone, so we'll see how
Did
this
you need
works.
my reading glasses?
No, I'm good. Good for now, but we'll see. So today I'm doing. This is more a mystery than paranormal, but it's no one knows, so
Okay.
you just don't know. So I'm doing The Watcher House. Do you know this story?
It's not ringing any bells, but
Okay.
again, we always say that.
I know,
and then
right?
We get going, and we're like, oh yeah.
Okay. So my sources today are historicmysteries.com and an article from The Cut. And I feel like there was one more and I don't remember now. Shoot. Okay. Anyway. Okay.
I'm ready.
Here we go. My story today takes place in the picturesque city of Westfield, New Jersey.
Oh.
Westfield is one of the wealthiest towns in New Jersey with a median household income of $160,000 in 2017.
Teresa Giudice lives? Maybe.
And here's the house we're talking about.
Oh, that's
So it's
pretty.
a nice house.
Yeah.
Doesn't it have like a
very, like-
Amityville vibe?
Yeah, it does, kind of.
It's like those windows and kind of just the way it's
the
built.
way the roof is, those gables are shaped.
Yeah.
Look at me using
Gables.
They're probably not gables.
It's like architecture. No big deal.
House. Not to be confused with anthropology.
Or sociology. We're just like, anyway.
We know all the ologies.
We
just don't
do.
know what
We're
any
into
of them, where
ologies.
to apply any of them.
So the house was built in 1905 in a Dutch colonial style. I don't know what that means. I feel like I'm going to burp. I'm sorry. I'm not
fine.
having a heart attack.
I need to quit getting you these Casey's Diet Mountain Dews.
No,
before we come.
please don't. It makes my life complete. And then I just burp. It's fine. So the address of the house is 657 Boulevard. You need to remember that.
Okay.
And it has 6 bedrooms. It's really big.
Yeah, for sure.
So William H. Davies, number one, I don't know who built the house. It's whatever. It's not important. So William H. Davies, who later went on to become the mayor of Westfield, he bought the house for $1 in 1903. So whoever lived there
From Lizzie Borden's father.
Right. Exactly. So whoever built it in 1905 to I don't know. Anyway. So the house was struck by lightning in 1932.
Okay.
And he moved out in 1940. 1947 when he sold the house to his son and daughter-in-law for $1.
Okay.
His son and daughter-in-law eventually sold the house to Dillard and Mary Bird in 1951 for $1.
And no one's questioning the $1 purchase price of a house?
Very weird. The Birds, that family, then sold it to the Bakeses in 1953 for
$1?
In 1955, the Bakeses, how do you say that?
I don't know. That's a tough. I never know how to spell the plural form
of
name where the ends in, a name that ends in S.
Or
yes.
a Z. I've had to look up how to do mine. You add an ES.
Okay.
It seems wrong.
It does. Because then
But
you
that's
feel
what
like
you
you're
do.
changing the spelling of your name.
It's very weird. So in 1955, the Bakeses sold it to the Schaefers for $1. So the Schaefers lived there until 1990 when they sold the house to the Woods. And I don't know how much they sold it for. I'm going to say $1, but I don't know that for sure.
Inflation.
Yeah. So the Woods are important in this story. The Woods really broke the cycle, and they sold the house to the Broaddus family for $1.3 million.
Oh, hey.
So that's
good
how much
return on your investment.
actually worked.
They should have like workshops.
And they should.
Like,
they should.
I don't know.
How
like
do you make
Tarek,
them?
what's his name?
Oh, God, I hate
Musa.
them. Kyle hates them so bad, too. That girl, what's her name?
Christina.
Oh,
Christina on the coast.
No one gives a crap,
Yeah.
Christina.
And your taste isn't that great. You know Joanna Gaines.
You know
Get
Joanna
over
Gaines.
yourself.
Her beautiful self. So let's talk about the Broadduses, the family who owns it, who most recently owned it. Okay. So their names are Derek and Maria. Maria is a hometown girl. She was born and raised in Westfield, the town we're talking about. The Boulevard house that we're discussing was just down the block from her childhood home.
Okay.
Derek grew up in Maine in a working-class family, and he worked at an insurance company and worked his way up the corporate chain to VP, and that's how they were able to afford the home.
Okay.
So the Broadduses bought the house in 2014, just after Derek had celebrated his 40th birthday. And this is where the nightmare begins.
Oh, good.
Here it comes. So the Broadduses were completing some minor upgrades like painting. There was obviously construction because construction people are at the house at some points of this. I don't know exactly all what, but they were doing some minor stuff. So one evening in June 2014, Derek is there finishing up some painting. And he's like, okay, they don't live there or anything. They still live at their old house. They're rehabbing it. I don't know why you need to rehab a $1.3 million house, but okay. I mean, just changing some paint maybe.
To have those problems.
Right.
I can only dream.
So he's like, hey, I'm going to go check the mailbox, see if we have any mail. Like, I don't know. So he, alongside some bills, he finds a thick envelope with block handwriting on the outside addressed to the new owner. And here's what it said. I'm trying to decide if I should do a voice.
Oh, go for it.
Okay. How did you end up here? Did 657 Boulevard call you with its fourth within? 657 Boulevard has been the subject of my family for decades now, and as it approaches its 110th birthday, I've been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming. My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s, and my father watched in the 1960s. It's now my time. Do you know the history of the house? Do you know it lies within the walls of 657 Boulevard? Why are you there? I will find out.
Not creepy at all. Jeez.
So that's the first letter. There are multiple letters. These are not available online. I searched everywhere. You can only find excerpts of them, but the family didn't want to put the full ones out there. The writer also mentioned the Honda minivan that had been parked in front of the house. That's their car.
Creeper.
And how many contracts were working on the property. Unimpressed by the ongoing renovations, the watcher, as this person's called, remarked, bad move. You don't want to make 657 Boulevard unhappy.
Oh.
Right? The letter also mentioned their 3 children.
Oh, great.
And wished to know if there was a 4th on the way. There wasn't, as far as I know.
Okay. But now psychic as well.
According to the author, this would be cause for optimism. The watcher says, do you need to fill the house with the young blood I requested? It's better for me. Ew. The author boasted that before too long, he would know all the children's names and use them to lure the children away. That was sufficient to get... Oh, now that's done.
Oh, now in the voice.
So it freaked out Derek,
Oh, yeah.
obviously.
Someone's watching.
Yeah.
Which kind of reminds me of the book Chris loaned us, Pen Pal.
Pen Pal. Yes, it does. Yeah. This is true. Mm-hmm. So it freaked them out. The Watcher also said, I asked the Woods to bring me young blood, and it looks like they listened. The Woods are the people who sold them the house.
And the young blood is their children?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Who am I? Hundreds of cars pass by the house every single day. Maybe I'm in one. Check all the windows that can be seen from 657 Boulevard. Perhaps I'm in one. Welcome, my friends. Welcome. Let the party begin.
Oh, my God.
Can you imagine?
No.
So after Derek
First of
found
all, it's a federal offense to put mail or put anything in someone's mailbox.
Yeah, did that have freaking postage?
So listen to this, Watcher. And if it was a thick envelope, you need lots of stamps. Just saying.
Amy follows rules.
I do. Oh my God, I was panicking because we got the census thing in the mail.
Did you?
Yeah, so
Should I have gotten one?
I don't think every household gets one. So I did the online one of it, but I didn't know like all of Jamie's information because they want like your work address, all this stuff.
Wow.
And it says on anything you get from them, it is the law that you must fill this out, which I actually looked it up, and yes, you can get fined like $500 if you don't fill it out.
Jeez. So fill out your census if you're a United
So
States
I filled
citizen.
out a bunch of it about me and the kids and told him to fill it out, and he did. But then I got like a little card in the mail yesterday. It's like, it is against the law to not fill this out. There's a penalty. And
They're like, we are.
So I'm like, did you not fill that out? Did you? So
You're
today
going
he
to
called them, and they're like, yeah, we got it. I'm like, then quit sending me stupid cards.
Yeah, like
that has nothing to do with this. But it's like that was terrifying getting that in the mail. I was like, oh my God, are they going to
you
find
can
me?
relate.
I can totally relate to
can
this.
relate.
I'm the young blood
yeah.
in this story.
Yeah, you are. I don't know. That was weird. Okay, so after Derek the dad found the letter, he obviously freaked the F out,
Yeah,
right?
somebody's watching his
Yeah.
kids.
So
Gross.
by the time he had read the letter, it was around 10 p.m. So it's dark outside. He's in this house all by himself. You know when you first move into a house, there's no curtains on the windows, no window covering, so he's so exposed. So he runs around the whole house, turns off all the lights so that he can't see. I imagine he's crawling on the floor because that's what I would be doing. And he calls the police.
So he was us when the UPS guy shows up.
Every time. So an officer came to the house, read the letter, and was like, whoa, that's creepy. The cops gave them suggestions for ways they could prevent people from breaking in. Like, for instance, they had a huge piece of like a construction equipment in the backyard. The cops like, you should put that somewhere because someone could use that to bust open one of your windows. Which...
I'm like, can you imagine someone's like driving a bobcat through your house?
Oh, I didn't imagine that. I imagined like a ladder. Or something.
Oh. Like,
Coming
what's
in.
that sound?
Well, you're screwed. I mean, at that point, you're screwed. No, I imagined it was just like a piece of
like heavy equipment.
No, just like, I don't know, what a shovel. I don't know.
A sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're still not living there. So Derek drives home to his wife and kids, and once he gets home, he immediately drafts an email to send to the Woods family who they had just bought the house from. Like, excuse me, what the F? They mentioned you by name. Do you know these people?
Is it you?
Right. So in his email, oh crap, I just started editing. Go away. So in the email, sorry everyone. He asked them who the Watcher is and why the Watcher had specifically mentioned them and the idea of bringing them new blood. So the Woods, specifically Andrea, who's the wife, she replied the next morning and said that in the 23 years that they had lived there, they never had received a letter until a few days before the Broadduses were meant to take ownership. So allegedly, that letter was very similar to the ones that the Broaddus family received, and the Woods decided it was a prank and threw it away. Okay. So they lived there 23 years, and just a few days before they got a letter.
Yeah. I guess I would probably not, like, if I'm getting ready to leave, like, oh, well, I'm leaving.
Yeah. Bye.
They're mentioning your kids, not mine. Peace out.
We're totally fine. So the Woods and the Broadduses, and it's really nice, actually, because, like, the Woods family, they got nothing in this, you know?
Right.
But they went together to the police, and the police advised them to not share anything about this with their neighbors since they were all potential suspects. Because I didn't know who was doing this. Like, anyone right around them, like, hey, is it you watching me? Are you the one sending these creepy-ass letters?
More easily explained if it were a neighbor.
Yes, absolutely.
Be able to have eyes on you at all times.
Right. So they tried to go on with their life, trying to be as casual as possible. They still weren't living at in the house at this point, and they actually never did move in. So Derek was supposed to be leaving town on a work trip, and Maria's like, no, you're staying home. Because they literally think there's someone who wants to, like, abduct their children. Right. So they're being hyper vigilant, obviously, with them. So at one point, Derek's, like, at the house again, kind of working on, like, checking out the paint colors that they had chosen. He was just going to see what they look like. And one of the neighbors came over, and he was like, yeah, come on in, check out the paint colors. And so they're just chit-chatting and kind of bullshitting. And the neighbor's like, yeah, it's so not real. It's really, really nice to have some young blood in the neighborhood. And so Derek's like, what? So
are you the watcher?
Coincidence or clue?
Who says young blood?
No, who says young? It's weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Young blood. It's creepy, right?
Yeah.
So 2 weeks later, Maria stops by the house to check on some paint samples. They're just painting so much.
All they do is paint. God.
It is a humongous house. So she went to the mailbox, and lo and behold.
Oh, no.
There was another letter from the watcher. In this letter, he addresses the couple by name. Here it is. 657 Boulevard is anxious for you to move in. It's been years and years since a young blood ruled the hallways of the house. Have you found all of the secrets it holds yet? Will the young blood play in the basement, or are they too afraid to go down there alone? I would be very afraid if I were them. It's far away from the rest of the house. If you were upstairs, you would never hear them scream. Will they sleep in the attic, or will you all sleep on the second floor? Who has the bedrooms facing the street? I'll know as soon as you move in. It will help me to know who is in which bedroom, which then I can plan better.
Oh my God.
Burn
it to the ground.
Right. All of the windows and doors in 657 Boulevard allow me to watch you and track you as you move through the house. Who am I? I am the watcher, and I've been in control of 657 Boulevard for the better part of 2 decades now. The Woods family turned it over to you. It was their time to move on and kindly sold it when I asked them to. I pass by many times a day. 657 Boulevard is my job, my life, my passion. And now you are too, Broaddus family. Welcome to the product of your greed. Greed is what brought the past 3 families to 657 Boulevard, and now it has brought you to me. Have a happy moving in day. You know I'll be watching.
Ew. Ew, 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 ew.
So that's like a full-on excerpt, but then the watcher also talks about knowing the 3 kids by birth order and their nicknames.
Great. So he hasn't just been watching. He's done some investigating to figure out these things.
This is another excerpt. I'm pleased to know your names now in the name of the young blood you've brought me. You certainly say their names often. The letter then asked about one child in particular whom the writer had seen using an easel inside an enclosed porch. Is she the artist in the family? He asked.
Ew.
And so it's noted, too, that the easel's really not easy to see. It was in an enclosed porch in the back of the house. So, like, if you're just like on the street, you can't see it. So after this letter, they just stopped bringing their kids there altogether. Well, yeah. As you would.
I mean, it's one thing for someone to feel like you're being watched, but it's a whole different level.
With your kids.
If it's your
so
kids.
Gross.
Yeah.
Super gross.
Okay.
So a few days, weeks, something later, I don't really know, the Broadduses are invited to a barbecue. So they've been somewhat elusive with their neighbors up to this point because they were still trying to be friendly and not be super weird, but also being wary because they're just like, is it you? Is it you?
Right.
Like, you'd be so paranoid.
That's exactly what I'd be thinking.
So at this barbecue, they met a family or a guy who lived a couple doors down who mentioned their next door neighbor, Peggy. So Peggy is their next door neighbor. She's over 90 years old, and she lived with her adult children who were all at least over 60 years old. Which is kind of weird, right?
They all live in one house?
They all live in one house.
Oh.
Well, I'm sure it's big.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's, because I guess this street is like where rich people live.
Which I say that, but like in a lot of cultures, that's totally
very
normal.
Right,
that's
right.
But
it's really not in America.
No, it's not.
It's not a very culturally normal thing.
If
for Americans,
prices keep going up,
then it might be.
Student debt keeps increasing.
Right.
That I feel like my kids are never going to leave.
I don't know what my words say here, but this piqued Derek's curiosity, and he decided to tell the detective on the case about this family. So the detective had already known about this family and had already investigated them. So he had brought Michael, who is Peggy's son, to police headquarters for an interview, and Michael denied knowing anything about the letters, But the Broadduses say that the detective told them that the narrative of what he said matched things in the letter. So, like, kind of the way he talked matched the way some things were said in the letter. So it just made
like
them
the dialect and stuff.
Made him just be like, that's weird. So the postmark on the letters, so that is being mailed.
Oh, okay, never mind. Well, still, you shouldn't be saying stuff like that. That should be
I literally wrote
as
this
well.
and didn't remember that. So indicated that it was close proximity to their home, to the Broadduses' home, because both letters have been processed at the local post office. Okay. So the first letter was postmarked June 4th, which is before the Woods had even put a for sale sign in their yard. So that was the first one, I guess, that went to the Woodses, because it couldn't have been. So at this point, Derek is sick of this shit, I wrote.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So.
The police are telling him that there really isn't a lot they can do unless someone confesses or, way more evidence comes up. Derek decides to put up webcams to keep track of what's going on in the house. He hired a private investigator to stake out the house and to do background checks on all of the neighbors, specifically weirdo Michael next door. But nothing leads to any conclusions, although they did find that there were 2 child sex offenders living a few blocks away. Right. So this is like 2014, though.
That's every night. I mean, right. You ever pull up like Watchdog? It's just like,
and isn't there,
lights up like a Christmas tree.
And in 2014, well, maybe not every state has it. I know Missouri has that map that you can actually look up where child sex or just any sex offenders are. So they also hired the FBI agent that inspired Clarice on Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, hey, girl.
I know. She concluded that it was likely that the author was an older person based on their language. Like a lot of times the salutations in the letter would refer to the weather. So we assume that's an old person.
Must be an old person.
Like
and they kept talking about Ambrosia's salad
and their arthritis.
Yes.
Is that ageist? Like only old people talk about the weather. A good warm and humid day.
They kept saying things like,
it's awful cool and sunny for a summer day.
And I don't know. God, that's so ageist of me. Stop it.
And also the use of a double space at the end of a sentence, that a lot of millennials or younger people don't do that anymore.
Yeah, no.
They also assume that the writer was a reader based on the writing. That makes sense.
So they're not illiterate. That's good to know.
And there was an interesting lack of profanity. Like, there's no curse words in any of it.
Well, it's not from Amy or Whitney.
Right. Nope.
You're cleared. That's all we needed.
It's not us. We're not the watcher. There were many typos and misspellings, which pointed them. I love all this stuff, though, how they can, figure people out.
Being an FBI profiler.
I mean, that's what they're doing. It's so freaking cool.
So fascinating.
And they're so right, usually. Yeah. It's amazing. So there were many typos and misspellings, which pointed them towards erraticism. Am I saying that right? Mm-hmm. Like you're erratic?
Yeah.
Erraticism? It's really hard to say.
I mean, I think you would change the hard K sound to a
erraticism.
Soft. Yeah, I think that sounds good to me.
It just sounds like I'm saying eroticism. Is that even a word? Anyway.
If that's what the old people, ew.
No. So overall, the FBI detective didn't think it was likely that the watcher would actually act on these threats. Bill Woodward, who was the Broadduses' house painter, he's sending his kids to college.
Yeah, no kidding.
From what all the painting.
And grad school.
Right, from all the painting they're doing. Notice that the couple that lived directly behind the house kept a pair of lawn chairs. This says chairs strangely close to the Broadduses' property, and that they were only facing their house. Everyone starts noticing all these weird things because everyone's just like, oh God.
Can you imagine just sitting in your yard?
God.
Staring
at
your neighbors.
And that's what they're doing. He said that he would go outside, like if he was painting or need, go wash his paintbrushes. Yeah. They would just be sitting in their lawn chairs watching their house. Ew. That's just mean at this point. If they know what's going on. Maybe they don't. And then another letter came.
Oh, great. They just keep coming.
They do. Here we go. 657 Boulevard is turning on me. It's coming after me. I don't understand why. What spell did you cast on it? It used to be my friend, now it's my enemy. I'm in charge of 657 Boulevard. It is not in charge of me. I will fend off its bad things and wait for it to become good again. It will not punish me. I will rise again. This person is clearly mentally unstable. I will be patient and wait for this to pass and for you to bring the young blood back to me. 657 Boulevard, needs young blood. It needs you. Come back. Let the young blood play again like I once did. Let the young blood sleep in 657 Boulevard. Stop changing it and let it alone. The house is crying from all the paint it's going through. Yeah, it
So
is.
is my bank account.
I didn't even know it said that. It's so funny.
Make up your mind. There's no difference between off-white and eggshell, you idiot. Stop painting so many layers.
The house is crying. No more
Wait,
paint.
those are
It's
called
so,
layers. Coats. So many coats.
so heavy. I can't hold it up.
The house can't take it. It's going to crumble in on itself.
You've changed it and made it so fancy.
Fancy. When they painted.
So
We don't even have
fancy.
curtains at this point. Here's your one chance, fancy.
Don't let me down.
Oh, Reba.
Reba, you bad bitch. You've changed it and made it so fancy. Sorry, that got sexual. Oh, God. You're stealing its history. It cries for the past and what used to be in the time when I roamed its halls. The 1960s were a good time for 657 Boulevard. When I ran from room to room imagining the life with the rich occupants there. The house was full of life and young blood. When it got old, and so did my father. But he kept watching until the day he died, and now I watch and wait for the day when the young blood will be mine again.
Ugh.
He said young blood 500 times.
Yes, stop.
Throughout all of this, they only had told, like I said, a few people about these letters because they're just freaked out. They think it could be anybody. So at this point, Derek and Maria are a total mess.
Well, I can imagine so.
Yeah, Maria's seeing a therapist for PTSD. They're not moving into that house, so they're literally paying a mortgage on that house, living with her mom, paying taxes on it, like all kinds of stuff, right? So the Broadduses decide that enough is enough, and they're going to put the house up for sale, all while still paying a mortgage and living in Maria's mom's house. I already said that. So the Broadduses also filed a formal complaint against the Woods family for failure to disclose the information about the Watcher.
Well, I mean...
Yeah, I think nothing came of it, though. And they did all this 6 months after the first letter arrived, so they put it up for sale. They decided that they would disclose this information to potential buyers because they didn't want anyone else to be stuck with it like they were. Yeah. So they tried to keep this whole thing quiet. So they filed that lawsuit against the Woodses. They didn't really want it to get out. Their kids didn't even know about it at this point. I don't even remember how old their kids were.
Well, you wouldn't want your kids to know that.
But then Today picked up the story.
Oh, hey, Al Roker.
Yeah.
You shyster.
Al Roker's like, we're going to talk about this. So Today picked it up. It was on the news. It popped off. So Reddit sleuthers got in on this.
Oh, yeah, they did.
They start combing.
And cumin. Cumin. It's so spicy.
Combing Google Maps to see what they could find out. And some claim that to see a guy sitting in a car with a camera on their street, but others say it's nothing, of course. Someone suggested that they should use ground-penetrating radar to figure out what it is in the walls that the freaking Watcher keeps referring to. What's in the walls? Because he talks about it multiple times. What's in the wall?
The paint has seeped through the drywall, and that's all it is. Just puddles of paint.
All the paint. So after this all came out, many of the Broadduses' neighbors spoke up and said that the police had never even spoken to them, nor had they and so that made everyone question how good of an investigation had actually happened.
Okay.
So they didn't talk to all their neighbors like they claimed they did. So
didn't scour the neighborhood.
No, total.
Shoddy police. Clarice Starling would never leave
would
any
never.
stone unturned.
Nope, not when there are children involved.
That's right.
So Baron Chambliss, he's a veteran detective on the Westfield Police Department, was asked to take a look at the case once it got national attention.
Oh, well, yeah, now.
Yeah,
now you care?
It's a freaking dick move, man.
Yeah.
There are children involved here.
face.
Like, there is someone threatening little kids.
Yeah.
That's gross.
It has actual, like, intel on these kids.
Yes.
Clearly, they're
Yes.
not just
It's
saying
stalking.
weird
That's
stuff. They're
stalking.
stalking. And
Yeah.
that's like, not just stalking. They're a child predator now.
Yes.
Gross.
It's super gross. So he started digging into the case file, and he discovered that a DNA analysis had been done on the envelope.
Okay.
And it was determined that the Watcher was a woman.
Ooh. Is it the
that
90-year-old lady?
But no further leads have happened. Womp womp. Sorry. They hired handwriting and linguistic experts, but nothing came out of it, so they were back at square one.
Just wait. Somebody's going to send off their DNA kit to 23andMe,
Yes.
and it's going to be just like
I know.
night.
Freaking
What is it called?
Golden State Killer.
Yeah, the Golden State Killer all over again. It was the Night Stalker. I'm like, that's
He was
Richard
the Night,
Ramirez.
but he's the original Night Stalker.
Okay, maybe that's where I'm getting it from then.
So Chambliss and the PD found out that at the same time that the Broadduses had got their first letter, another family on the block also got a letter. But since no one was talking to each other, nobody knew. So that family had lived in the house for a few years, but their kids were grown up, so they just threw the note away.
I don't have time for this. It's like the census.
Right. But don't throw
that away.
So ultimately, nobody knows. Nobody knows who the watcher
It's a
is
big
still
mystery.
to this day. Nobody knows who sent those letters. The Broadduses, the house did sell, but some people think that they made it all up because they got buyer's remorse
Oh.
and didn't want to live in their house. I don't believe that.
I don't either. Because nobody's going to go to those kind of extremes.
And those
for
links.
that.
I feel like people, like, they really, like...
And you're hurting your odds of selling the house when you're putting a story like that.
Absolutely, because no one wants to live in that. So that doesn't even make sense. So I don't know. I don't know who it is or what it is. It's very, very creepy,
Very
though.
creepy. It does remind me a lot of that book, though.
Mm-hmm. It definitely does. Pen Pal by...
I don't know who.
me neither.
Maybe that was inspired by this story in the news, because if it were a family,
Maybe it
I don't
was.
know when it was published, but yeah.
There we go. Pen Pal
Good
by
one. I really enjoyed that.
Dathan Alberbach.
Yeah. Him.
Okay.
Creepy
whew.
book if you're looking for a creepy
gosh,
read,
sorry.
everybody.
Well, thank you all for listening.
Yeah, thank you. This has been a wild ride.
Ooh,
I
it
hope you
has.
enjoyed it. It's been a while since we had a Zach Bagans alert. So
Zach Attack.
You're welcome.
Zach Attack. All right. Check us out on social media, on The Haunt.
On Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, on Haunt Podcasts, on Twitter, our website.
On the Haunt.
At gmail.com. On the Haunt Podcast.com.
On the hauntpodcast.com.
Yeah.
And then
On
what's our Gmail again?
On the Haunt at
There's so
gmail.com.
many things to remember.
It's so hard.
much. It is
Just go
so
to our
hard.
website. I'm trying to work on our website a little bit, but you can also send us emails on there.
Yeah. Our merch link is on our Facebook page.
It is.
There are more and more people buying stuff. You don't want to
Yeah.
be left out.
No, you
Get
don't.
On there.
Get on the train.
You know it. Send us pictures of you wearing your shirt.
Oh my God, I would love that. Yes.
We will not republish them if you're, well, I guess if you're, we can DM them to us, but just go ahead and
Yeah,
post it.
DM
If you're
them.
comfortable with other people seeing you, post them on our social media
Oh
page.
my God, I would die.
Hype us up. We love it.
So good. We love
Yeah.
you all so much. Like, this is so amazing.
Yes.
I can't, like, I literally walked around my job Wednesday or Thursday whenever I found out about all these new recommendations and was just like, someone listens to us
Yes.
literally as far away from the United States as I can possibly imagine, right?
Yes.
Like, I feel like New Zealand is as far away as you can get.
Right. And we are just like two best friends sitting down having a good time. And I think it's so cool too when people see our page and they tag their friends like, oh my God, we
That's
could
like
do
us.
this.
Yes.
And it's like, thank you for
Yes.
realizing we're so relatable. We're such dorks. Like,
yes.
we realize that we're nothing special. We're just two friends getting together talking about stories we enjoy sharing with one another. And you absolutely can do this.
Yes.
I mean, good luck finding a Chris, but
That's the crux of it all.
it really is. He's so knowledgeable
And talented.
and he answers our group chats.
he does.
So that's
when we're literally chatting about
we
Britney
need to
Spears.
stop paying him in Pickles Cage stickers. 'cause
That's
he
why you
deserves
need to
more.
buy some merch and we can give him some real money.
Bitcoins.
Chris, here's your Bitcoin. Just one.
Oh my God, I saw like on Yahoo News or something like Steven Seagal. You probably don't know him.
know
He-
Steven
okay,
Seagal.
he got like in a bunch of trouble for like Bitcoin kind of crap. he wasn't paying his taxes or something.
Come on,
it,
Steven.
So get it together.
Why do people think they can't pay, like they don't have to pay their taxes? Like
yeah,
no one's
you
gonna
do.
know. You do.
And if
That's
you're
right.
me, you're like we're having a real fun time trying to pay your taxes this year. It's
Yeah.
a nightmare.
Great
All right,
times.
no one cares.
All
Sorry.
right, love you. Have a great
Love
week.
you. Bye.